My cousin got married to a guy that was a little bit older. So he already had a son from previous marriage when they got married. I think he was, I don't know how old he was when they got married. He was 7 or 8. And both his parents remarried, so it was a complicated issue of custody and stuff like that. And some weird stuff occurred. Or not really weird, just some kind of shitty stuff. Because one year he wanted to go-kart, and I've just talked to one of my buddies, or several of them, because when I was growing up, I never wanted a go-kart. But I see a lot of people got them for Christmas, and his son wanted one. So his dad called his ex-wife, and he's like, all right, hey, I'll get him the go-kart, and you can just get him whatever. That way, he'll have it at my house. I live out in the country. That'll work out really well. And, well, he comes to my grandmother's house Christmas Eve. He said, yeah, I just got a call from my son. He said he got a go-kart, so she listened really well. I know you probably think, well, that's no big deal. He'll have 2 go-karts, one to play with at each house. But the point was, one person was going to get him one thing, another was going to get him another, so it kind of ruins Christmas for him in a way. So his dad couldn't surprise him with a go-kart. And the ex-wife continued to do undermining stuff like that, because the guy's son, we're going to call him Henry. Henry had attention issues, like bad. Like he had bad ADD. His conduct grades were awful. We're talking like D's in conduct, if not F's. And it mostly had to do with him having, like a good ADD. But his dad was old school. And it was still at the point where they didn't, like old school parents are just like, well, you're not paying attention. You just need to pay attention, damn it. That's all there is to it. Just mount and do it. That's just the way it is. So he didn't really get as much help with attention issues as he could have. But he moved in with his dad and my cousin exclusively. And my cousin and his dad, helped him, and he was getting his grades up. And Henry and my cousin loved nothing more than to go to yard sales. And he loved getting, old cell phones. He just wanted to have them. He didn't want... he didn't care they were working. He just liked having old cell phones. So he wanted a cell phone more than anything. And my cousin noticed this, and she's like, all right, hey, look, you make A's and B's this semester, or it may even just been 6 weeks, because the kid's attention issues were bad. He was in 5th grade and didn't know his multiplication tables. So that kind of hampered his ability to keep his grades up and bring that along with attention issues. And that's what happened. And she said, well, you keep your grades up, we'll get you a cell phone. Well, Henry mentioned this to his mom, and his mom was like, oh no, we can't have your stepmom getting you something and rewarding you. She immediately went out and bought him a cell phone. So he realized, well, wait a minute, I can just get whatever I want without reward. So he ended up moving back with his mother and kind of doing as he pleased, because I don't think he finished high school. I think he dropped out and stuff like that. He even tried to move back in with his dad at one point, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see some old friends. And his dad's like, well, wait a minute. You're gonna stay here. We need to talk about rules and kind of the rules of the house and how you need to act. And he heard that. He's like, wait a minute, rules and boundaries. Oh, never mind. I'm leaving. So he kind of fell by the wayside because he didn't like order and structure. He liked being able to do whatever he wanted. And to an extent, I get it. If I was 16, or if I realized, hey, wait, I get rewarded for no reason and there's no consequences, that's kind of what I'm going to want to do. So he's not around much, and he's never really amounted to too much. And I kind of feel bad because there was, at one point, they wanted my sister to tutor him. And she tried, but she was going to tutor him, and he couldn't pay attention. He couldn't pay attention. And his dad would hang out there to make him pay attention. And he beat the shit out of him in front of my sister. She was like, I'm still traumatized by that. And I mean, by beat, I mean he whooped him. And my grandmother and great aunt were just shocked. So, I mean, I guess to show you, he just needed that order and structure, and he could have been on a better path, but that's what happens when exes don't get along.